that I want to talk about specifically because Fair Trading have actually asked us to. They've sent out information, and most of you guys should have read it. If you are a licensed agent, then you may have received an information from Fair Trading if you are the licensee in charge, but certainly all assistant agents who transitioned across from being a certificate of registration holder on the 23rd of March 2020 and were then given a certificate of registration to be an assistant agent for the next 4 years. That registration expires on the 23rd of March 2024. So now Fair Trading have sent us information. I was chatting with some people from Fair Trading the other day, and they're very keen that we get information out to everybody. So we've promised them we'll put the information into a newsletter. We've promised them that we'll talk about it on Facebook Live, and we'll put it on our socials. So, and it's something that we actually have talked about a lot. So time and time again, actually. And, you know, we've been talking about it since the reforms came in on the 23rd of March 2020. The issue is that the pathway for assistant agents to become licensed, no longer can you sit on a certificate of registration and be an assistant agent forever, which previously was the case. So you must transition to a Class 2 license by within 4 years of your registration. For those of you who transitioned across in March 2020, you have until March 23rd of March 2024 to make that transition to a license. So the whole idea of it was that assistant agents would receive a greater amount of training, improved skills, greater portability for career advancement through gaining a full qualification. So obviously also about raising the standards and building some consumer trust across our industry. So to maintain your ability to work in the industry, every assistant agent must gain a Class 2 license, whether you are real estate, stock and station, dual real estate and stock and station, or strata management license. So you don't need to progress past a Class 2. If you want to progress to a Class 1 and take the advantages of what that comes with that, you can, in terms of being an independent contractor, running an office, being a licensee in charge, owning an office. So all of those things, yeah, you need a Class 1, but you can sit on a Class 2 forever, but you must get that qualification. So what does that actually mean? There's still 50 of the number of people that transitioned across in March 2020. There are still 15,000 people with certificates of registration that have not yet made application for a license. You have less than 18 months to do that. So in terms of finishing your qualification, it is less than 18 months out of those 4 years that are left to do that. So it's important that licensees in charge make sure that all of your assistant agents are on that pathway to getting licensed, and making sure that they make that application to Fair Trading by the 22nd of March 2024. So if a certificate of registration holder does not progress to a Class 2 license by that set date, they actually need to stop working as an assistant agent and cannot make application for another certificate of registration for a 12-month period. So in essence, they're out of the business for 12 months, or out of the business of being an agent. So, and by not doing that, both the agent and their employer could be fined for unlicensed conduct, so which has a maximum penalty of $11,000. So it is really important that all the certificate of registration holders are aware of this requirement, are working towards meeting that deadline. But you've also got to remember that if you hold a certificate of registration, or you have people in your office that hold a certificate of registration and they are not doing the business of being an agent. So let's go back to the real basic definition of an agent is someone who induces people to buy, sell or lease property on behalf of another for reward. So if they're not doing that, if they're doing purely admin, marketing, accounting, any of those sorts of things, they actually don't need a certificate of registration. Time to surrender it. So, and then they stop having to follow, meet those requirements of being licensed within that 4-year period. But if they do any of that on any occasion, so if they go and run open homes on their own, even if it's on the rare occasion, they need the certificate, they must transition to a license. So, and the same for strata. If they are undertaking the legally delegated duties from an owner's corporation, then and acting on behalf of the owners corporation, then they need to be licensed. So certificate, move to license, 4 years. Really, really basic. I mean, what an assistant agent needs to do, they need to do their training. The requirement for an assistant agent for their CPD is different from licensed agents. Yep, Class 2 licensed agents, 6 hours of CPD. Class 1 licensed agents, 9 hours of CPD. Assistant agents, 3 full units of competency towards their license qualification the same thing, between March and March in the CPD year. So they need to continue doing that. They need to gain work experience, so they do need to work in the industry. When they make their application, they need to submit a work experience logbook, which is a 5-page document signed off by their licensee in charge, attesting to their skills and knowledge and the fact that they have worked in the industry for 12 months under their license. If you work at one place for 6 months and another place for 6 months, then you'll be getting 2 of them. So really simple stuff there. And the last one is they actually make their application. So that application needs to be made by the 22nd of March 2024. Now, if you haven't even started on that path yet, naturally we can assist any assistant agent with that. We have lots of different buckets of government funding. We have been tagged by Training Services New South Wales as a high performance provider, which means we have access to various different buckets of government money, where if you are eligible for that, then we can get you in with either free courses or heavily subsidised courses. Either way, make the call, have a look at our website, give us a yell, talk to us, and we can help you through that process. But guys, 18 months left to get over the line for those of you who transitioned back in 2020. For those of you who got a certificate of registration after that date, then from whatever date that certificate of registration was issued, 4 years to get a licence. Really simple stuff.